Yo, what up? It's John, your movie madman, and I'm back. So, it's a very exciting video for you today. This is Book versus Film 5. I never thought I'd do this many book versus film videos, but I keep finding books that I've read, of films that I've seen, and videos that I could do for them. It's quite an exciting video for me today, because not only was this one of the first books that I ever read, it's also based on one of my favourite films ever. So it was a very exciting read for me. Today we're talking about the book Gone Girl versus the film Gone Girl. So to start with, I'm gonna just show off this. This is my Blu-ray for Gone Girl. Anyone that has Gone Girl on Blu-ray probably has this edition, because I haven't seen any normal standard editions for this, but it comes in like this little slippy case, and then you've got your Gone Girl disc in here with a nice picture of Amy and Nick on the inside, and there's also this amazing Amy book, which I'm guessing is one of the books that is supposedly based on the books that they talk about in the film and the book. I wouldn't have said it's the shortest film ever. I mean, it's 2.5 hours. You do feel 2.5 hours. It does go pretty slowly, but that's not in a bad way. It's just because there's a lot of detail to get in there. The interesting point to start with is that the lady who wrote the book, Gillian Flynn, she also wrote the screenplay for the film. So straight away when I was reading the book, I just felt like I was watching the movie, which is a good thing, I think. One day I would like to read a book based on a film that I haven't seen, and read the book first and then watch the film, because every book that I've read so far I've already seen the film that the book's based on. So I think, to me, that helps me picture what is going on in the book, because I've seen the film. I can put faces to the characters' names and that sort of thing, and it really livens the book up for me a little bit, because I've always struggled reading books, but now I've started diving into books that are based on films, I have been able to find a bunch of books that are really exciting. But yeah, one day I would like to read a book that's based on a film that I haven't seen, so maybe that will be my next task. Be exciting for me. But the book, I would have said that comparatively wise, because they're both written by the same person, they're very faithful to each other. There's a little more detail in some parts of the film that aren't in so much detail in the book, and there are some details in the book that you don't get in the film. All in all, I would have said that they're both very, very similar. It's not one of those books that you read and then think the film is terrible. It's not one of those films that you watch and you think the book is terrible. I think they both do well to coincide with each other. The character development in both the book and the film are both it's just written so well. Gillian Flynn is one of my favourite writers. I've seen everything that she's written, including the HBO show Sharp Objects. There's a couple of films that she's written as well. I hear that Ben Affleck and Gillian Flynn are writing a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train. They're writing that together, and I think David Fincher, who directed Gone Girl, is set to be directing that film as well. So that's a film I'm really looking forward to seeing. Definitely a film I'm gonna want to watch, especially if it's written by her and Ben Affleck. But yeah, I mean, they both have backs. It's good, isn't it? Good back for both of them. It's a really nice book as well. I'm glad this is one of the books that I've kept in a good shape. I managed to not break the spine as I read it. I'm pretty sure I've got this book on my Kindle as well. Some of the book versus films that I show you will be on my Kindle, because I've only got digital copies of them, because they're cheaper. Getting actual books can be quite expensive, but if you get them on a Kindle, you can get books pretty cheap, so that's good. But yeah, as I said, comparatively wise, bang, did a very good job. It's an amazing film as well. I love David Fincher. David Fincher is probably one of my top directors. I think he's my number 2, just under Bong Joon-ho. I don't know if you've heard me mention Bong Joon-ho before. The only disappointing time I've ever sat through this film was when I watched it in 4K. But that's because I watched it on Prime Video and it was just lit really badly, and it was a really bad transfer, and it probably had bad internet in my room as well. So there's a lot of bad factors that went into the 4K transfer of Gone Girl. Whether or not there's a physical transfer of Gone Girl that will be coming, I don't know. If there's a digital one there, could easily do a physical one, so it'd be interesting to see if the physical one's better, because I really like the film. It's one of my favourite films ever. Pretty sure it's in my top 10, as you'd probably know because you've seen my top films now. So bit of a shorter one today, but I'm trying to do loads of these in one day, so some of them might be a bit shorter. I do apologise. When I have a bit more time, I'll be able to go into a bit more detail and give a bit more length and all that sort of thing, especially when I start diving into other subjects and stuff like that, other film subjects. That is not like random. I'm not going to start talking about science or history. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you could like this video, that would be amazing. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. And I'll see you again in my next video, whenever that may be. Goodbye.